Node 564560 connected to Node 564562. Node 348820 connected to Node 564560.
That's the W7ITL, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society broadcasts digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain that spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, please Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll see the exact frequencies we receive and transmit on. Also, you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets, held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank WW7STR's 2-meter repeater 147.08 for utilizing a simulcast of our nets held for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. Welcome back. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. Let's see. Checked in by video link already is Ron, KD7QKU. Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. Richard, K7ITX. Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. Jim, N7QO in Covington. And James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. And I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else wishing to check in? Hearing none, we'll get the net underway. Let's start off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. This is Ron, KD7QKU. I'm over here in North Tacoma. Well, I guess I'll start off with what we did today. So this afternoon, we went to the Corvette Club Christmas dinner. We drove over by the Tacoma Dome and then taken the River Road into Puyallup and then out of Puyallup on 167 and then exited on 410 and then went to Bonnie Lake. Oh my, I never had any idea Bonnie Lake was so big. Stoplight after stoplight, Costco, all kind of stores, man. Then we went on up 410 till we got to Buckley, I guess. Hardly saw downtown Buckley. We had the GPS in the Jeep Cherokee and made a mistake. A lot of traffic. I wasn't sure. She kept saying 0.2 of a mile, but when I went past, it was a stoplight, 4-lane road, 2 lanes turned right, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to turn right there. I kind of thought maybe I should because it was a main road, but I went past, and then she's saying recalculate. So then I had to go farther up to where I could turn right, and that was kind of near in the town of Buckley, and then I guess I could see some more businesses and then wind my way around back. She guided me back, I suppose, to that street. So we finally got on that main road that we wanted to go south. It was south of 410. And so then we went down, and she was saying turn right in 1,000 feet or something. Well, I came to the street, but it was the wrong name. She was calling it, I forget what the name was, but anyway, it wasn't that name. So I went past that, so then she's recalculating, so then I realized that was the street. So I had to turn around these people's yard and come back, And then you kind of went up a little hill, and then you came into this really kind of all enclosed big neighborhood with beautiful big houses. Oh my! I don't know. These people had 3-car garage. House was probably 3,500 square feet. Big houses in that neighborhood. So that was the place, and so we went in. I don't know how many people were there, 20, 30 people, 25 people. They provided ham and lasagna, and everybody else brought the side dishes. And we were all to bring a gift, left no more than $20, and then we all put it under the Christmas tree, and then we rolled the dice and played a game. I ended up with a little, battery charger, which I don't really need. I have several. So I think I'll have to give it to the next white elephant thing I go to. So we go out to Mike's, we do the same thing. So somebody out there is going to get it, I think. So let it drop. I don't know if we need to drop it anymore or not, but then, of course, we had to come home. Now, of course, it's dark and raining a little bit. So I did fine, and pretty much fine until we got kind of into Puyallup, and I guess I should have been in the far right-hand road lane. There's a lot of lanes right there, and a little confusing. And, of course, it was heavy traffic. It's amazing how many people were out and about. I guess it's Saturday night. So I ended up not taking the right exit, and so then I had to go down and take Pioneer Street. I sort of knew where I was then, and I kind of didn't know where I was when the first exit came up. And Joanne's not a lot of help. I mean, she will kind of tell me what maybe the signs say, but don't really always agree with it. So she was saying, that's the exit to Seattle, exit to Seattle. Well, I don't want to go to Seattle. I want to go to Tacoma, So I guess Seattle and Tacoma was the same thing. So anyway, I had to go up Pioneer Street, then into Puyallup, and then wind around in Puyallup, and then get over to River Road, and then get back home. And then you exit it kind of by Portland Avenue, and then you get on I-5, and then go up and take 16, and then home. So all in all, it was pretty good time, except a little extra running around. So that's my story for now. Back to Net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Yeah, let's pick up Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Wait here a second until, okay, I got my call up. I have video in a moment here. There we go. I'm streaming. The key worked okay. Carlos sent me the new key, and I just stuck it in on my laptop. I've got a couple of other machines I need to get it in too. Did I say it's Lee and 7KC in Port Angeles? I guess I did. Well, anyway, today, yeah, Ron, sounds like a nice function there where you went. We had our club Christmas potluck today, where we normally meet. We meet in the social hall of the First United Methodist Church here in downtown Port Angeles. It's really nice. It costs us $75 to use it, and so forth. And we had our Christmas party there today, and we had pretty good attendance. One of our guys in the club, I guess he's a VP this year, is a certified pitmaster barbecue guy who goes around and does the contests, and then he's also a judge. And anyway, he's known for his cooking. He cooks for field day here. The field day they have here at the fairgrounds with the Clallam County Club I've never seen anything like it in terms of the food and the food service. It's like a canteen. It's open all the time, right in the middle. Anyway, it's wonderful. And he's got a big trailer that he hauls around to the competitions. and he's got everything in the world in there to. His cookers are fired with pellets and that sort of thing. Anyway, pretty nice stuff. Anyway, he smoked 2 turkeys, and one of the other members of the club, his wife, did professional catering, and they have at their place in Squim, they have a full commercial kitchen. And so they brought mashed potatoes for 25 and a green bean casserole for 25 and so forth. And then it was a potluck where, you bring either a dessert or a side dish. So it's really pretty well attended, lots of fun people over here. And I'm frankly wasted tonight. I got no zip whatsoever, but I did want to try to get on the net. And I scrambled to get the key in, but it went okay. And so I can stream like I am now. Before I go, let me switch over to my Indian head here just for fun. That'll be up in a second. I'm watching the stream as I do this. There we go. Okay, well, listen, that's about all I've got. I'm not going to hang around for the whole net. Paul is next door in the bedroom. She's holding a movie. We try to watch a movie on Saturday nights. So anyway, but last night was particularly interesting. I think I mentioned this morning. We lost our power at 9:30 last night, and I'm the net operator for the Northwest Net at 10 p.m. It's a CW traffic cleanup net, and we lost our power. But I'm on battery always because I use a West Mountain power gate, and so it's just ever so nice. I don't know what I did without it for years, but anyway, I've got a power gate. And when the power went off in town, it was the whole West End. I had no noise on 80 meters. The S meter showed almost always zero. Every now and then there'd be the zero might light up a little bit. Anyway, it was just an awful lot of fun to do a net where you hear stations that are normally pretty dim, right? Like they're in the room with you. Really great. I normally have an S3 background, environmental noise here, and last night I had zero. So it was one of those things where the power outage kind of coincided with something I wanted to do, or what I always do. We have that 7 days a week at 10 p.m. That's my last net, and there's about 15 people that are checking all the time. I'm running a little long here, I think, but that'll fill you in. So anyway, that's it. I was careful about my eating today. I stayed away from the dessert table. That at my age, that's just not a good thing to do. To have so stay away from it. I feel pretty good tonight, but I'm awful tired. Anyway, back to you, Dave. This is N7KC, Leon Port Angeles. Go ahead.
N7KC, thanks with that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX. What say you, Richard?
Yeah, hi, this is K7ITX in Kent, Washington. Lee, I wish I had your abilities, because I can't seem to stay. That's what is really left over from. We had the biggest Thanksgiving in probably 20 or 30 years at our house. Not that it's that big, but 25 people over the stretch of 2 days really wiped us out as far as just having any energy left, and actually maybe even being in the negative energy zone come Sunday, just zapped completely. But it's just this past week I've been enjoying. Gee whiz, and I'm trying to think. My memory is so screwed up. Was Thanksgiving last weekend, or am I off 2 weeks? Anyway, Okay, good. I'm right. Thanks, Ron. Anyway, the smoked turkey was just, I don't know, that stuff's like butter, man. Yeah, I just can't get enough of that. And then the chocolate. Oh, there goes my little alarm or button to tell them. I've got this new device. I got so screwed up from Thanksgiving that 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm connected to a 9-volt battery with two probes about 8 inches apart on my back where it hurts a lot. And that's what I meant by overdoing it over the holidays and then suffering now with the strained back. But this little device, it's the kind of thing that you would have saw, 20 or 30 years ago in physical therapy, where they put the paddles on your back and you're hooked up to a machine about the size of a decent-sized portable air conditioner. Well, now, with a 9-volt battery and some microchips, these little guys do wonders as far as massaging your back. It's the damnedest thing I ever had. Debbie turned me on to it, and I just really haven't been enjoying it. Makes me feel really good. You can control the intensity. It has the ability to go way beyond what's comfortable. I'll tell you that right now. You can turn it up to where you feel like you're really getting a good, electric shock. Well, that's no fun. But if you just have it going nice and smooth, it's just like fingers going across your back, pressing nice and calmly. And, oh, boy, talk about relaxing. I think I might have heard James and Bellevue talking about it in his physical therapy recently. They're quite a little animal. This one just is called TENS, 7,000. So good for TENS. I like you. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And let's pick up Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma.
All right. Well, I'll make this short. This net. I went out dancing last night. This is the third time I've done it in the last month. Kind of a form of exercise for myself because I don't really get to the gym very often, and I really like the type of music that they play at this club. So, yeah, it was fun last night. I got home a little bit late. Unfortunately, I hit a curb on the way home, and I got a flat tire. So I had to go to the tire store yesterday or this morning, and I got that all switched out. Luckily, I had a warranty on the tire, but since I have an all-wheel drive car, I had to replace at least two of the tires to be balanced correctly, I guess. So out the door, I spent about $320. But yeah, it is what it is. I got a lot of things breaking this month, but that's just how it goes. Besides that, just been kind of hanging out with the family this evening, and went out to dinner with my wife. We went to Oddfellows and had a few cocktails and some dinner, and got home and did some mesh core stuff with my nodes. Got them all flashed. I think I might have shown these. This is one of them. This is called the G2 Nano, and got that all flashed with the latest firmware. There's a really cool, or some new features added to the firmware that helps stability on connecting to the phone. So, been playing with that right before the net. Nice seeing everybody. Nice to hear you, Richard and Ron and Lee. I don't think I've seen you in a while, or maybe you came on last night. I don't remember, but it's nice seeing you. All right. Well, I'll keep it short, and this will be probably my last check-in for the night. You can call me again, Dave, but I'm probably gonna go to bed. I'm pretty tired. All right. This is W7ITL. Back to net control.
W7ITL, thanks with that. Let's go pick up Jim, N7QO in Covington. Again, we'll go for Jim, N7QO in Covington, but this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine for ID. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's see if Jim is with us. And no response, so let's move on to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Well, thank you, Dave. This is James, WU7N. I've got to engineer some passwords and email accounts and such to get the password in the right place, so I'm audio only right now. Well, anyway, it sounds like everybody's having a pretty exciting holiday season here. Ron, all the way out to Bonnie Lake. Hope you didn't leave the tire tracks that were too deep in the people's yard you turned around in, or at least maybe you spun rubber and got away in time. Let's see, Lee, a power outage and no noise. Yeah, that is amazing, isn't it? When we had a power outage almost exactly a year ago here, I got on and it was just so quiet, at least at the start of the power outage. As they started to restore neighborhoods, it all, of course, came back. But, yeah, it was very, very quiet when we had our last regional power outage around here. And, yeah, Richard, massage therapy, that is amazing. I was at my physical therapist yesterday, and she worked on my neck, and it really is amazing what that can do. And Wade, you party animal, you, be careful in the dark. I did the same thing to my truck a couple decades ago, where there was a poorly marked curb in the middle of the road kind of thing, and I hit it pretty hard and cracked a piece of the actual metal underneath the truck, and drove it like that for some time and didn't know that was a problem until I got my tires the next time. The guy said, hey, do you know you got a big crack here? So it had to get welded back and put back together again. So, yeah, things in the dark can really get you. Well, let's see. Sorry I missed the meeting this morning. I was working with a group having some power issues. Of course, there was a huge big drill today, and light at the end of the tunnel, though. The power issues are still unresolved because I took home a power strip we thought was tripping breakers, and I took it home and put a 1,500-watt heater on it, and it was working just fine. So I'm not quite sure what the cause of the problems really are. So anyway, we got that fixed, but made a major breakthrough with that group on getting a HF set up that they could actually talk to the state on megahertz, the 60-meter band, public service band there. So that was well worth the effort making that breakthrough, and just had a real good exercise. Something a little different. It sort of started on Friday afternoon, but I couldn't participate the whole afternoon, and then it spilled into Saturday morning. But it was a good exercise. So that's all the excitement here. Not nearly as cool as giant turkey feasts or driving around or dancing or massage therapy, but it was a good day. So with that, I'll turn it back to our net control, Dave, in Seattle. Go ahead, Dave, take it away. WU7N here in Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N, thanks for that. And boy, I tell you, here in Lake City, I got 45 degrees, mostly cloudy outside. But boy, listening to the food supplies that are going around, I think Lee had the best thing. Boy, catered by two professionals, and then, you know, the amateurs that fill in with the rest of the goodies for the meals are just fantastic. So anyway, maybe that's something Watts should do in the future. Have a Christmas dinner of some type. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Been fighting a little bit of a cold and sort of just chilled out this afternoon, so that's what's happening with me. So I'm going to move back up to the top of the list to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
KD7QKU here. Well, it sounds like Lee had a nice dinner. Sounds like he has a nice group. Man, that guy sounds like with the barbecue and everything he's and his wife, my goodness, they're set up. Wade, that was a beautiful Christmas tree. You have a beautiful Christmas tree. So getting back to our dinner, when we been at the last Corvette Club meeting, Joanne told me that she talked to a lady that she thought lived over here by us. And so that when we got there, I said, if you see that lady, point her out to me. So she did. Well, her name was Nancy, and it turns out her husband's name is Al. And Richard, they live, Cooper's Restaurant, they kind of live behind Cooper's, but far enough west that they're not over there by Alicio. I don't know exactly. They told me exactly where they live, but I can't remember. So they're not very far away. And so I said, well, I think we kind of need to get together and maybe take the Corvettes out, and go to dinner or lunch or something. And he said, well, I hate to take it out in the wintertime because you have to clean them up again. But she said, oh, no, you can just come to our house for dinner. Play games. You play games? Yeah, no, we play games. Do you play pinochle? No, I'm sorry, we don't play pinochle. Oh, shoot, she said, that's terrible. Okay, well, I got a whole closet full of games. We'll find something. So it looks like we'll maybe are making a new friend. She was a school teacher. Whether she still teaches or not, I don't know. And I'm not sure what he did, but we had a lot to talk about. He grew up kind of on a farm, and he has guns, and I think he hunted. And right now they're having trouble at their house with crows and raccoons, and we have the same thing over here. He has a have-a-heart trap and a BB gun. I had to laugh because, I have the same things, but Joanne won't let me do anything here. She's afraid. We're a corner lot. Everybody can see anything I do, so unless I crack a window or something and shoot with the BB gun. I'd like to get the crows out of here. Today I think there was 100 crows in the park across the street and out on our parking strip. We have, we did have grass between the sidewalk and the street. Well, crows have just tore it all up. There must have been 50 crows out there just pecking the heck out of it and eating the grubs. It's just terrible. So this place is just crawling with crows at times. So let's see. Let me let it drop. I suppose I need to let it drop still. I'm using the 2-meter radio. My camera doesn't have a microphone in it. So let's see. This week I put up the lights around the window. We have a pretty big living room window. So So I put lights. I use this alien tape. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or not. It's sticky on two sides and it's clear. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. It's really gummy, sticky stuff. But I can stick the lights next to the window frame and on the glass, and it sticks to them, and then it comes off. It comes off and doesn't leave a residue or anything. It's pretty nice stuff. Kind of expensive, but nice stuff. And then we put up a Christmas tree. We have an artificial tree with lights on it, so we put that up kind of in the window. And Joanne hasn't got ornaments on it yet, but I put everything on a timer, so when we came home, the window lights were on and the Christmas tree lights were on. Joanne said, "Oh, that really looks pretty." So the tree looks pretty, and it doesn't have ornaments on it when you're outside. So that's what we've been doing. Joanne loves Christmas. She must have a dozen, well, I don't know about a dozen, at least a half a dozen, those big tubs with the snap-on lids just full of stuff. And so she swaps everything out for Christmas stuff. So, and it sounds like just when we started the net, Phyllis, Joanne's sister, called and said, "You guys want to come to dinner tomorrow?" So I said, "Yes, I do, but you'll have to talk to Joanne." So they were just on the phone, so I would imagine we're going over there for dinner tomorrow. So that's about it here. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And I see Lee is still with us, N7KC in Port Angeles. What say you again, Lee?
See my call come up. Well, no, there. We go. It looks like things are working. There, we got video. Okay, very good. Well, this is Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles once again. And yeah, okay, Ron. Okay, living on a corner lot. You're under surveillance all the time. You can't do anything. And it sounds like maybe you do have another Corvette friend in the offing there pretty quick. Yeah. And Richard, the tens unit. Yeah, I have read about those, and I've never known anybody that used one, but it sounds like they're pretty effective. And it is the miniaturization that's taken place in the last few years is pretty remarkable, isn't it? Just look at the capability of the average cell phone. Mercy, more computing power than the first lunar landing modules. Yeah, well, it's been kind of spitting here today. We had some rain around 3 o'clock, and then since then, it just occasional little bit of spitting. And I heard a rumor today at the luncheon that we've got an apparent atmospheric river that's due in here. I think they said next week. That's supposed to bring quite a lot of rain. Now, it may mean that it's going to the Seattle area, and if it is, then we'll get the dregs. We'll get a little bit on the side, maybe. Uh, but we're okay now. The river's up pretty high. We're not in any kind of water restrictions, and we'll get through the winter here just fine. Wade did have a beautiful tree. It's dense. Boy, that's a dense tree, and it really looked nice. I know how much work those are to put up, and I also know how much work they are to take down. I put our outside lights up on the house this past week. I think I did it the day after Thanksgiving, actually. I don't remember. One day is just like another now. But anyway, so I've got those up, and so we're looking pretty good here. The yard looks good. It greened up real pretty, and it hasn't grown a whole lot. I've got an outdoor security camera that I want to get in place anytime I can get to it. It's an EUFY E42 it's PTZ, and I've got two of them. I've got one for inside, an E30, and then I've got the one for the outside that has a solar panel, a 3-watt solar panel to run the camera. So we don't have any way to see east of our garage, the driveway, and what's going on that end of the house. And so it's going to go on the same pole as my weather station. It's a 3/4 inch stainless steel pole that's on the end of the garage. So the camera's going to mount on that, and we'll have 360-degree surveillance around here. And there's a 128 gigabyte miniature micro SD card that's in it that stores the video, the captured events. So I've been running it in the house, and it's time for it to go outside. So when the rain stops and maybe we get a sunny day and a dry roof, I'm able now. I think I got pretty well straightened out after my incident with the reaction to the COVID booster. I'm pretty much over it now, and so forth. So anyway, that's just kind of rambling, but I will take off now and leave you guys and go settle in for a movie tonight. And it's good to see you this morning at the meeting and tonight. And I must say, if Wade is listening, this all working just very, very nicely for me. The audio on the stream was good for me from everybody. It worked well, and the videos were all consistently good. So whatever work they've done has really come to a nice fruition. And with that, I'll send it back to you, Dave. This is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles, and I'll see you guys down the pike.
N7KC, thanks with that. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX in Kit.
Okay, well, gee whiz, I might be in the doghouse. I saw Debbie stick her head in the door, and something had spilled on the floor, and I said, I didn't do it. Well, I hope I didn't do it, but maybe I did. So, you know how that goes sometimes. And, it's kind of like kind of getting along with your spouse, not sure where you're driving. That I've always found to be a little frustrating. And if it's night, just make it 10 times worse. Whew. So I'm with you, Ron. Now that's quite an experience. Geez. If you're by yourself, somehow you can seem to manage. You know what I mean? But if you're not by yourself, you're lucky to get by the skin of your teeth. Oh, man. So anyway, looking forward to the Seahawks tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure it's going to be a difficult game, but I don't know. I think they have the ability to persevere, and I think they're getting better, and then I think we got a Thursday night game coming up with the Seahawks and the Rams, and that is just really going to be a dogfight. Sheesh. So, well, I don't know. I mean, we can't. Donald or whatever his name is, the quarterback for the Seahawks, he can't throw 4 interceptions and expect to, win the game. I'm sorry, you just got to figure out some way not to do that. That's just how it goes. Otherwise, you're in the wrong business. So anyway, Yeah, and Lee's. That was no rumor that Lee heard about this atmospheric river. I have a cousin that lives on the Skagit River, so I'll be real curious to see if the water gets up to his gills. They have gotten underneath the house underneath the foundation, and that was that. But these times are changing, and we're getting more. I think you don't have to believe in climate change, but you can read the rain gauge. That's for sure. Oh man! So I'm pretty excited about witnessing that. Let's see, I've got Northwest Kidney Center to deal with tomorrow night, but after that, Tuesday night and Wednesday sound like they're going to be an adventure, and I'm glad I'm going to be at home enjoying it while I charge up my electric car, which has really been a lot of fun. It's quite a little. It is. When you get inside my electric car, it's like you're climbing inside my iPhone. It really is. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's see. Let's move things along. I think it may get back to me. If it doesn't, anyway, I'm going to say 73 just for the fun of it. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Let's pick up James again, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Call sign up.
Oh, okay. Looks like I've got a call sign.
All right, this is James, WU7N, and looks like we've got an OBS signal going again. Carlos, thank you very much for all the software work and also the new key. For anybody else listening who wants to see what everybody else is seeing, you can go to your favorite search engine and just put in Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and it'll lead you to www.qsl.net where the WW7ATS streaming site is, and you can see the video images in addition to hearing us on 2 meters here. Well, let's see. The Thames machine. Let me show you. I'll show you the one that the tens machine or whatever it is. This is the one that I got off Amazon for cheaps, and it did work. I'm not sure I'll ever use it again because I discovered. This here is kind of a Band-Aid. It causes things to kind of feel better, and it did work. But the longer-term solution, the code that broke, I did all kinds of exercises, really wasn't making any progress. And two things happened at the same time. One, November 22nd is the day the data died with CenturyLink, and so my arm is not in the same position as much using a mouse. So that changed. And then the other thing that changed is I learned a new exercise where I was swinging a tennis ball on a rope with my arms stuck straight out from my side as I did my 4-hill walk every day. And at first that was very sore, and then all of a sudden I noticed, wow, I don't seem to be having the issue with my shoulder anymore. So I highly recommend that one. I kind of think maybe the reason it's not really recommended by a lot of physical therapists is you do have this ball swinging out there on a rope. I only got one strange look from one person, and I explained to him what it was all about. But most people understand you must be doing some sort of exercise. But I said, well, gee, could I put a 2.5-pound weight on it now that I've adapted to the tennis ball? No, don't do that because it's dangerous. You have suddenly you have a David and Goliath kind of weapon there. So she said, no, don't do that. So I just do it for longer periods of time. And also I have a flashlight I hold in the other arm and hold it straight out. So I think maybe the breakthrough is just the fact that that's something you can do that's not too taxing as you just walk down the street. So if you have rotator cuff injuries in your shoulders, I highly recommend a tennis ball on a rope and swinging that around. That seemed to do a lot. Well, let's see. Other than that, I'm not sure. I think I told you about all the exciting stuff. I was just amazed at how well the radio worked with today, 100 watts, HF, around 5 megahertz from Bellevue, and we could hear people and they could hear us down in Olympia just fine. And the antenna was just a random wire on top of a roof, and essentially making a near vertical incident wave antenna, and it really did work well. Given the fact that it was an antenna tuner was tuning through a balun, and it's just a non-resonant piece of wire, I was just amazed at how well that did work. Of course, it was 100 watts, but even so, you're just shooting all the energy, or trying to shoot all the energy straight up and seeing what comes back down. And apparently, maybe today was just a good day. I'm not sure. Okay, well, with that, let's see. I see we've got about 14 minutes left of the net, so let me turn it back to Dave in Seattle, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. My name is James, WU7N, and I'm pushing the
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. We've got 45 degrees and mostly cloudy, but I think the thing that we kind of, I don't know if you missed it last week, we were talking about raccoons. There was a raccoon on the East Coast that broke into a liquor store, had come down through the ceiling and landed on the floor in the liquor store and broke open about 4 bottles of alcohol and continued to lap that up, thinking it was pretty good. Got pretty well crocked and managed to make it into the restroom next to the commode and just flat out passed out from the alcohol. They called the Humane Society, and they come out and picked him up and then took him in and sobered him up, and then released him back up into the wild again. So I don't know if he'll be back thinking that that was a great experience or not. But who would think that you'd have a raccoon that would be a little bit tipsy? I could imagine him getting into some apple cider or some fermented apples that laid on the ground and get a similar effect, just nature alcohol fermentation happening with apples left on the ground. But he loved the hard liquor, it said. So with that, that's about all I've got to say with that. So I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Dave, did we miss Wade, or did Wade check out?
Wade checked out. Wade checked out. It's up to you, Ron, now.
I guess it's up to me now. Okay, that's good. I just turned my TV transmitter on. So it's been working pretty good tonight. In and out a bit, but more in than out. Well, Richard, I didn't comment on your electric stimulant there, but I've had a bunch of that, but I've had it, at the physical therapy place, mostly, never at home. But James, I had rotator cuff surgery on my right shoulder, and went to a lot of physical therapy. After I was through physical therapy, I set up at home on the patio ropes and pulleys, and I put, gallon bottles of water so I could vary the weight, and I did most of the exercises that they did when I was, in physical therapy. And I think if I hadn't have done that, my shoulder wouldn't have been as good as it was. Because I was a bow hunter, and I needed to draw the bow with my right hand, and I wanted to make sure it was going to work. So one of the things that I really did that helped me is you put your arm up in the air, you stand in a doorway, and you put your arm up, on the wall above the door, and then you lean forward with your body, and you stretch that joint. Oh man, I used to do that so much, and so I can rub the back of my head. I can just do about anything with my right arm that I can do with my left arm. So all that stretching and physical therapy really worked for me. They did a good job on the surgery, I guess, and I would say the physical therapist did a really good job. So, so I sort of had trouble. I had open heart surgery. I had to have my valve replaced, and then I'd had the rotator cuff surgery probably in like August or September, and then I had the open heart surgery like in December, and so they cut your chest open, and so then I couldn't use my arms a lot. So my rotator cuff physical therapy, they had to wait on a lot of that. And then finally, after my chest healed up, then they said, we can do one of two things. We can send you into the hospital or they can put you under anesthetic and they can loosen that shoulder up, or we can loosen it up. Well, I didn't really want to go back under anesthetic. I said, how bad's it going to be? Well, it was pretty bad, but I lived through it. And I had a really good physical therapist. I told him I was a bull hunter and I really wanted to use my right arm, and so he said, okay. So there was a few times that I think the tears were running out of my eyes, but I got through it, and like I say, my shoulder works really good. So, all right, well, 73, you guys, it's always nice to see you and hear what you're up to, so we'll see you Wednesday night, hopefully. KD7QKU, back to Dave.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Well, I don't have much more to cover. Just doing, believe it or not, I'm thinking about income tax. I don't know. January 15th is a looming deadline for making some pre-income tax payments to avoid penalties and things of that nature. So I've got to try to get that straightened out, and that's not as easy as it sounds, but I think I'll live through it. And and last but not least, I see the Mariners made another trade. It looked like kind of an exciting trade. I don't know much about the players, but I like the expression on the face of the player that they traded for. It's kind of a mean-looking guy. He looked I don't know. He looked like he could be a toughie. So hopefully he's worth the money of his picture. Let me put it that way. So anyway, glad to see you finding new neighbors in your new neighborhood, Ron. Even though you've been there a year or two, it's still new when you think about it. And that isn't the north end of Tacoma. That is northwest, north end of Tacoma. That's a nice place to be. If I were going to be in Tacoma, I think that's where I'd want to be, either that or University Place. Even Faircrest, certain neighborhoods. But quite honestly, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be moving anytime soon. It's just I've got everything I want here. It's been here 30 years. I can see Mount Rainier whenever it's out of the clouds. I don't know. It's just perfect. So why would you ever move from a perfect place? So if I can avoid it, I'm going to. Anyway, that's about all I know about my situation, and that'll be it for me. 73, everyone. This is Richard in Kent, K7ITX.
K7ITX, we got your 7-3. Thanks for that. And let's pick up James again, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Okay, let me see if I can do another internet.
This is James, WU7N. Okay, in Northeast Bellevue. You might wonder what this thing behind me is. This is my frequency chart. I got that from ICOM some time ago, and it shows the complete spectrum and what the FCC thinks everything is getting used for. I tried to get another one of those and was not successful, an updated one. So I don't know if they just gave up trying to update it or what's the full story with that. But it really looks nice anyway. It looks very pretty, like a lot of graphics. You don't know if it's accurate or not, but it certainly has good information presentation there. And let's see, what else? One thing I thought I would mention, I'm trying a new telecommunications service here at my home, T-Mobile. I'm going to be getting some kind of little hockey puck that sticks in the window and is completely wireless cellular. I got 2 good reports that it does work and that you leave it on all the time. It's just like Comcast or CenturyLink or Ziply Fiber or something like that. So cost substantially more. That's not happy, and also I guess I'm down one phone line. I'm pretty much on cellular now. There's no dial tone at my house. I just forwarded my house number to my cell phone, so I'm paying more. But hopefully, let's see. I'm on the middle of the road of the 3 cell phone plans they offer. I'm on the middle of the road one only because the budget one didn't have any hotspot data at all, and I need to have some hotspot data just in case I ever need it, so that they bundle that with a whole bunch of things I won't ever use, so that was a little more expensive. The fiber itself, because they discount it because I have a phone with them, it was only about $55 a month and pretty good speeds. So I'm really anxious to see if that really works. If you leave it on 24 hours a day, how it works. But to me, it's absolutely amazing that they can get that kind of speed through a wireless connection to your home. That's just amazing to me. So we'll have to see how it all goes. I see we got 2 minutes left, so let me turn it back to Dave, our net control, to wrap this net up. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. We meet at 8 p.m. at Wednesdays and 8 p.m. on Saturdays. That's Pacific time, and anybody's welcome to join in with us. So Dave, over there in Seattle, go ahead and take it away.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and for an ID, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Well, it's been a pretty good net this evening, so I think it's about time to wrap it up for the evening, with just a minute left. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off the net. 8:59. So good evening all. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this has been the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Good evening all.
Node 3488204 disconnected. Node 56456 connected to node 66657.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. End of test. WU7N, Northeast Bellevue.
Testing KB9MWO. Testing KB9MWO.